sushi and the
Yeah.
sashimi,
Lovely.
and body part,
Yeah.
good for soup.
Great.
But many people see, first.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see what you're going to do with that guidak for me. I have actively avoided eating guidak because I just hate the look of it, I'll be honest. I find it freaky. It's a sort of thing that sort of turns up in my dreams late at night and keeps me awake. So the memory of this will linger with me for far too long. I managed to convince Chef Tojo that we would be preparing sushi in his Vancouver restaurant, minus the guidak.
So,
Beautiful space.
big,
Isn't it big? Gorgeous.
big. Just like you.
Yeah, just like me. Look at those lovely accolades all over the walls. You must have won every award going in this town.
Yeah, we have very busy, people from around the world,
Yes. I hear you're the first port of call for a lot of A-list celebrities that are shooting movies in Vancouver.
I think it's the most, the movie star drop here.
Well, I love the way you're so blasé about it. I mean, could you give me a few names or not?
Because Morgan Freeman, Harrison
Morgan Freeman,
Ford,
Harrison Ford.
soccer player.
What about that Jonathan Phang? Has he been in?
So now I have famous.
Now you know you've made it,
Yeah.
I'm here. But even an A-lister like me has to wear the right garb if he's to enter the backstage area at Chef Tojo's.
All right, and some apron.
Okay, apron.
Anything.
Things I have to do for the love of travel.
Because
We look like relatives now.
So come to my Tojo backstage.
Tojo back.
We are backstage.
Okay.
So you are taller. Maybe so I arrangement here.
I have to say that looks a lot better now than it did earlier because I was hoping you were going to do a vegetable stir fry
that
for me
many
after this
people-
morning. At the heart of this cuisine is the sushi roll, and Chef Tojo wants to show me his.
Right to left.
We put sticky rice onto our seaweed sheet, then add mayo, wasabi, and the fresh lobster from this morning.
This next step is very important.
Yes.
Because sometimes it's when roll
Yeah.
explode.
But rolling sushi isn't as easy as Tojo makes it look.
Then stop. Yeah. Then
It's a bit more triangular, isn't
we
it?
like to do.
It's like a Toblerone or something.
No, it's okay. That we cover smoked salmon on the top here.
Yes.
Maybe this case I want to choose here. Okay, for
Normally it's
example.
just at the top, but
Yeah.
we'll waste some salmon
Yeah.
hiding my folds.
So I don't want to straight, not just.
You don't want it
yeah,
too straight,
yeah.
okay. Oh, I see what you're doing.
This way.
The smoked salmon has two jobs, to be delicious and to cover a multitude of sins.
Then I like to keep it here, right?
That's
Yeah,
better.
yeah,
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's a steep learning curve, this sushi business, and having failed miserably, I've been demoted to cutting up cucumber.
This is English cucumber.
It is an English cucumber. It's a very
Yeah.
big English cucumber, mind you. And to make me feel worse, Tojo's getting so clever with some impressive knife skills. Oh no, this looks difficult.
Yeah, a little bit difficult, but very, very careful. Just only knife, up, down, up, down. Slowly, slowly.
Have you got all day? I've peeled a bit of cucumber where Chef Tojo's creating an elaborate and beautiful scroll. And it needs to look good, as this dish is inspired by one of the great natural wonders of the world.
Have you seen Northern Light?
I've
aurora?
seen a picture of the
Yeah.
Northern Lights.
Just like when I go there, oh, this is
The Northern Lights?
just like a Northern Light. Look
You
at
thought,
that.
that's not a Northern Light, it's my sushi roll.
Yeah.
Can't quite see the resemblance to the Northern Lights myself, but who am I to argue with the man who invented the California roll? Our next sushi has vegetable tempura, prawns, and pineapple. Okay, this one's coming out better than the last one, so it might not take 10 years. My rolling is getting better, and my sushi roll actually looks like sushi. Though nothing like the Northern Lights. It's time to try it.
So, kampai.
Kampai. Cheers.
This is Tojo roll. People call, California roll.
That's a
I
California
invented it in 1974.
You invented it in 1974.
1974.
Well, you have given the world a gift, haven't you?
Yeah, try this one.
Lovely.
Try this one.
Okay.
This is very lightly seared, but marinated. Very.
Very fresh again. Almost like ceviche. Thank you so much for the lesson,
Yeah.
for the delicious meal, and for giving the world the California roll, and for introducing this kind of cuisine to Vancouver. I think they owe you a great debt. So what next? Here's to life. And
Kanpai.
Kanpai.
Arigato. Arigato.
And let's try the Northern Light. This city is a melting pot of international cuisines, and it has a thriving street food scene. And the latest way to eat incredible food on the hoof is to visit one of the 100 or so food trucks that are stationed across the city. You can get anything and everything from Mexican tacos to Indian curry. Manuela is a food writer and blogger. She has got her finger on the pulse of what's hot and what's not in the Vancouver food scene. She has brought me to the centre of town to try out what the locals are eating.
Hi, Mom. How are you, Honey-Bun?
They do say Mum knows best, and that saying is about to be put to the test at our first stop, Mum's Grilled Cheese.
Hey, Cindy. Mom. Come over here.
Hi, Mum. I'm Cindy.
Oh, let me see ya. What's going on over
I'm
here?
Jonathan.
Hi, Jonathan.
Nice to meet you. So, Cindy is the heart of the truck.
She's the heart of the truck. She's like a
talk to
mom
people.
to everybody. Mom! And got one of her first catering gigs while working in Beijing, China for the movie set of Kill Bill.
So, the movie set of Kill Bill.
Well, I was rock climbing in
Okay.
Beijing. And
Right.
I had never catered before, and I never worked in film. But I overheard these two guys talking about how there was this huge Hollywood film coming to town, and no one did any Western style catering, and they didn't know what they were going to do. And I just thought it was some little tiny movie. I said, "Hey guys, I'll cater your film for you."
Little did
2
you
days later-
realise there were 3,000 extras on the Great Wall of China?
God. I have no idea how I did it. I just was, too dumb to think that I couldn't.
So what are you going to prepare for me, Cindy? What's the speciality that you think I'm going to fall in love with? Mum's special is a hearty concoction of feta and sun-dried tomato on marble rye bread. And we haven't even got to the cheese yet.
It's topped with some dill Havarti.
Dill Havarti.
Dill Havarti, so delicious.
I've never had dill Havarti.
So it gets gooey and melty, the bread's not burnt. And then we throw it on a super hot grill for about a minute. Lots of butter. Yeah?
Lots of butter.
Oh, yeah. There you go, darling.
Thank you. And just explain this lovely marble bread to me, because I've never had anything like that.
Marble rye, you've never had it?
No, I don't think so.
It's a light rye and a dark rye that they kind of swirl together before they cook it. It's lovely. It's going to be messy, honey.
It's going to be messy.
Yeah, but it's going to be good. Let's get a close-up on that.
I love this cheese.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad. You know where your bread is buttered.
Yes, I do. I smile. Next up is Saab,
This is Sar.
who runs the intriguingly named Soho Road. Jonathan. Nice to meet you too. Saab is more British than British Columbian, as he was born in Birmingham. What made you come to Vancouver?
Whole family moved over here. We sold our shop, and next thing you know, we immigrated here.
The bread used in the naan kebabs is freshly made daily on board the truck.
We punch a couple
Yeah.
holes into it just so that it doesn't inflate.
Yeah.
Because it's lemon, drop itself into the fire.
Before they're cooked in a tandoori oven.
And into the oven it goes.
And how hot is that oven?
The oven's probably about 400 degrees, kicking upwards.
And believe you me, the smell alone will get you salivating. The tandoori chicken looks gorgeous, and Saab serves with a special homemade sauce.
We put a little bit of butter sauce. So we keep our butter sauce a lot thicker than most people do. We also keep it a little bit deeper. The flavors are a little bit deeper. We don't sweeten it so much. We get a little bit of tamarind chutney on it.
And you make your own, do you?
Yes, sir.
So that's where the sweetness comes from.
Yeah.
And I guess the sauce has to be a bit thicker, because if you're standing up eating it, you don't want it all over your clothes.
Exactly.
I'm sure I'll get it all over my clothes anyway.
The
So I'm
naan is good
missing
for that because it keeps it a little
Soak it up a little
Yeah.
bit.
Here you are, Jonathan.
Thank you. Almost as good as mine. Almost.
Well, that's a massive compliment.
The Fraser River runs through Vancouver, and taking the aquabus is a fantastic way to see it and the city. I'm joined by Nicholas, head chef at the Rain City Grill, a high-end restaurant that prides itself on using seasonal and local produce. Nicholas is taking me to the famous Granville Island market, where he will buy produce to create some new dishes for tonight's lucky customers booked into the restaurant.
All right, so watch your step there.
You lead the way.
All right, so we're here, Granville Island.
Right, come on.
Yeah.
Let's get some inspiration for what you're going to cook me. But his new creations will only hit the menu if they get my seal of approval. Okay, I can see why you come.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. I mean, the smell of the place, there's just so many colors and fresh vegetables right now available in season.
So fragrant.
Yeah, it's so fragrant. Even wild mushrooms, asparagus, all these wonderful, heavier greens right now.
The market has been open for over 20 years and is a foodie's mecca, offering plenty to inspire Nicholas. So what you're doing for me today, are you sort of like trialing some new recipes that may go on the menu?
Yeah, we're going to put together some stuff just based on what we find here today. I've got a little bit of a plan laid out in my head, but
So based on my critique, Nicholas.
Yeah, kind of feeling you out a little bit and seeing what you're into. So far, I know you like big steaks.
I like big everything, really. Look at these rib steaks, they're fantastic.
Tenderland meats, I mean, they have such a wide selection of protein available here. Sometimes they do these tomahawk ribeyes. What do you have for lamb right now? Do you have any saddle? Can I take half of it?
Don't hold back on my account. I needn't worry, as large portions are de rigueur with so much local produce, including an abundance of locally caught fresh fish.
I'd love some steelhead. A good sized fillet.
Steelhead trout.
Steelhead trout, so a nice salmon alternative. Do you have any of that, the caviar that you guys were curing when I was here last time?
Caviar. I've been to a fair few markets in my time, but the sheer variety on offer here at Granville Island is incredible.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful.
Back at the restaurant, and it's just 2 hours before service, so Nicholas doesn't hang around, starting the 2 dishes he's trying out on me, a main course and a starter.
So, steelhead trout, I've taken the top fillet off. So what we're going to do is we're going to cure this with a little bit of salt and a little bit of sugar.
When he says a little bit of salt, he really means fistfuls of the stuff.
So this is a Fraser Valley honey. It is actually, they call it fireweed blossom. While that cures, we're going to move on to the lamb that we picked up. So nice saddle of lamb, half a saddle here. It's got a beautiful loin on one side, the fillet on the other. We're just going to go ahead and take that right off the bone. We're going to get this going on the grill here because it's going to take a little time. So this is our plancha. So just throw a little bit of olive oil on there. We're going to start it on the fat side and just let that render out and get a little golden brown. We'll flip it over and throw it in the oven for a bit.
Chef Nicholas prepares the plate for the trout with a puree of local watercress. This is smelling like it's ready to turn because I can smell that crispy fat.
Yeah, that fat, and lamb fat is very fragrant. So let's just take a look at the other side there. And,
Perfect.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
We're going to take that, we're going to throw it on one of these pans here.
Get it in the oven. Yummy. The trout has firmed up nicely because of that cure, so it's washed and cut. Things are truly hotting up as Nicholas sears the pieces with his blowtorch. It's quite dramatic to look at, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit more seasoning on top of it. Alrighty. So, this up on here. Put these right here on the plate. You can kind of just arrange them however you want. Get a little bit of our noodle here.
These noodles are made in the restaurant from potato flour, then dressed with egg yolk. He garnishes the plate with caviar, fresh herbs and veg from the market.
And there we go.
Looks far too good to eat. Colours work so well together. But back to that lamb. It looks perfect.
Okay.
Why'd you throw that away? I could have had that. Nicholas finishes the garnish with an unusual ingredient which is new to me, smoked buttermilk. I've never had smoked buttermilk.
Yeah, quite nice. So you have it, roasted saddle of Fraser Valley lamb, wild chanterelle mushrooms, asparagus spears, smoked buttermilk with a little bit of radish, hazelnut, spinach pesto.
Right, see you later. If these dishes taste as good as they look, I'm in for a treat. But I need to get my serious head on, as if I pass these dishes, they're going on tonight's menu.
The trout roe itself, just giving it that extra bit of oil.
What you've done there is incredibly clever, because you did that in about 10 minutes, didn't you?
Yeah, it doesn't take very long to do at all.
But, so I've nearly finished it all. But I'm definitely going to steal that idea from you. Right, and here we go, this beautiful lamb.
Your lamb dish, the Jonathan. So I'm gonna let you have at that one. Yeah, quite nice.
It's not quite nice. It's utterly delicious, let me tell you.
Thank you.
Nicholas, thank you for a great day. It's been a really interesting afternoon.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
You're very lucky having that amazing market on your doorstep.
Absolutely.
The restaurant is great. It's got a beautiful setting. Your food is fantastic.
Thank you so much.
You're living the dream.
Thank you.
Well done.
It was
Can't
very
wait
nice
to
to
come
meet you. Yeah.
Safe to say, the good people of Vancouver will be enjoying the Jonathan tonight. I'm at the beginning of my trip across Canada, but before I set off across the Rocky Mountains, I've stopped in Vancouver, the glittering jewel of a city on Canada's west coast. The skyline set above the Fraser River is a sight to behold. And I've headed to the top of one of the city's most glamorous hotels. What's so wonderful about the Fairmont hotels are that they encourage sustainability and they grow all of their own herbs and vegetables on site. They also make their own honey. So I've come to meet the beekeeper who's going to show me everything I need to know about bees and honey, because at this point, I quite like honey in my tea, but I don't know how it's made and I have to try and avoid getting close to bees.
Well, I hope we'll change all of that today.
Yeah, I hope so too.
And, well, as you've mentioned, it is raining.
Yes.
So it could be a little dodgy with the bees.
What do the bees not like about rain?
Well, the problem with the rain, when it's raining, the bees aren't out foraging. So
Okay.
that means now you have a hive of perhaps 65,000 bees.
65,000 bees?
Yes.
Okay.
And now they're all at home.
So they're just like chilling
Hanging
out,
around,
they're
yes,
relaxing,
exactly.
avoiding the rain, like any normal person would.
C'est ça. So we suggested, although you look wonderful the way you are, perhaps you'd like to put a bee suit on. And as a beekeeper, we always wear a bee suit if we can with a veil. Put that on, and this way you don't have to worry about the bees climbing up into your trousers.
There's a lot else I have to worry about, though, isn't there? Oh,
Is
is this the right size?
I don't know. Jonathan, could you just take a deep breath, darling?
I need a corset. Oh. It's feeling tight, I have to tell you. We should have bought some honey at that nice market in Granville Island yesterday. Oh,
No zipper.
no zipper.
Is the camera still running? God.
Oh, it's quite smelly in here. Nice of them to wash it before they gave it to me.
You look like a
Where has
beekeeper,
this
darling.
thing been? Has it been in a swamp or something?
Yeah, it's been all over the place because I don't really use it. Special occasions.
Special
Voila.
occasions.
There's your hive tool. Your smoker. Your brush in case you'd like to do your hair. And you're ready.
Now, don't be cheeky, I'm
I
in no
said
mood.
no. He's ready. He's ready for beekeeping.
Okay,
Shall we go to the bees?
do I need to cover my hands?
Good idea. The gloves. Want to see
This wasn't the look I was going for when I made my grand entrance in a posh hotel. Unfortunately, getting dressed isn't the only challenge between me and the bees. I suppose the architect didn't think of a gate, or were the hives not here with this? Right, you hold the ladder steady.
I got the ladder and you've got my shoulder. You
Yeah.
grab two as well.
It's all right, there we
You
go.
good? I got you. Very normal.
Right. Just a normal day in the office. Suddenly, I was face to face with 65,000 industrious insects. Julie assures me my smoke gun pacifies the bees and doesn't harm them.
Now,
look,
now that's okay. So, Jonathan, remember, everything you do now,
Uh-huh.
nice and slowly.
Shall I start smoking slowly?
You can, oh, this is a beautiful hive. My goodness. The hive is boiling with bees, as they say.
My gosh.
And we always check to make sure the queen is not on the inner cover. And there's some fresh...
How would you know which the queen is? Is she just...
Well, we'll try and find her.
Still can't
There
find
she
her.
is, there she is.
Where? Can't find her.
She's where my thumb is.
Can't find her.
Can you see how beautiful she is?
No.
Long, okay,
Oh, this.
right there.
She's there, isn't she?
That's
I
right.
can see her because
That's right.
she's almost half the length again of your average adult bee. Am I
You'll
right?
have to trust me, there was a queen in there somewhere.
She's filled with just millions of eggs.
Isn't that incredible? So she's got millions of eggs inside her
She
right
does,
now.
and she could spend a couple of years just doing exactly this. She starts to slow down at this time of year.
I should hope so too.
Would you like to hold the frame?
I would, yeah, you know what? I will probably never do this in my life ever again. So let's hold a bee frame.
Let's take a frame.
Would you mind? Because I'm not going to scrape.
So,
I think, you know, I've been lucky thus far. We don't want to upset the queen. I've seen the queen. Do you know something? It's actually so incredible to watch, isn't it?
yeah.
To see the sort of activity that's going on and what it actually yields, that I don't feel at all worried about it.
No. And this is
I think they're not that interested in me, I don't think.
I'm terribly brave, dressed head to toe in protective gear, but the work these industrious insects do is inspiring.
So the Fairmont has 4 hotels downtown Vancouver, right? But this hotel alone produces 600 pounds of honey a year just from these 4 hives. It's incredible.
Yes, it is, and spreading the word that bees
Yeah.
can be living right beside you.
Well, thank you. It's been very enlightening, I have to say.
It's nice to be beekeeping with you.
I'm going to think twice when I next swat.
I've come down 20-odd stories and have changed into something more suitable to meet the hotel's restaurant executive chef, Dana, to see how they use all that honey.
I am slightly distracted because there are these 2 things of beauty next to me. We have Dana, obviously, and then look at this. Because that is just sensational. And brisket is not something that we really serve a lot in the UK. Tell me how you prepared this.
What we've done is we've taken the beef brisket, we've brined it. There's vinegar, sugar, salts, honey, and then we've actually let it sit in the brine for 3 whole weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. And then we smoke it in cherry wood and cedar wood, and then slow cook it for another 18 hours.
Can we do something with that brisket? Because I'm getting so distracted with it, I can't concentrate. Let's assemble something with it, and then I'll resume the questioning.
I won't keep you waiting any longer.
It just looks fantastic.
You really want to slice the meat nice and thin.
Don't make it thin on my account, just, you know, hunk it off.
That good fat in there as well.
Yes, a nice little ratio of fat never does anyone any harm, does it? I'm busy.
So this bread is absolutely gorgeous and it goes really, really well with beef brisket. So it has that nice crispy outside, tender inside, and then just the salt rub on the outside is absolutely gorgeous for this type of sandwich.
Smells divine as well.
We make this mustard in the restaurant as well, and there's actually honey in here.
I thought there might be.
And it's not honey overkill. It's just things that really complement. Honey just goes so well with so many things.
So what do we have here? A little pickled cabbage?
This is exactly that, pickled cabbage. And then we just like to finish it with some provolone cheese. There you have a great sandwich.
Okay, you just carry on assembling and I'll just start tucking in if that's okay, Dana. I have died and gone to heaven. I really have. Perfect. This is absolutely perfection. This is real food, isn't it? Mm-hmm.
You really make me want one.
That sandwich will live in my memory, but Dana has been a busy bee and has one more use for that honey.
What have you got for me now?
Thank you. So this is our burnt honey ice cream.
Right. What do you do to the honey to call it burnt?
We cook it. So we cook it
Right.
until it gets a nice golden brown color, and then it has that the kind of nutty taste to
Yeah.
it, and then it really comes through in the ice cream.
I'm really ready for this burnt honey ice cream now that I saw being made by those millions of bees upstairs. So you really get quite a lot of use out of it, don't you?
Try to, absolutely. The bees work very hard.
I think I want to move to Vancouver. This is gorgeous. It's not that I'm forgetting about the sandwich, but I've got this now. You do realise I'm keeping you here until I finish all of this, don't you? Keep talking and I'll keep eating.
Now my time in Vancouver is almost up, and my train, the Canadian, is waiting for me, being prepared to whisk me and my fellow passengers across the Rockies. Just time for one last stop, and I fancy a stiff drink. Happily, it's close enough to cocktail hour, and I've been told that Labat in the trendy district of Gastown is the place to go.
Hello.
Hello.
Now, in a few hours, this place will be heaving, but I've got an audience with Sean, who is, I'm reliably informed, the best cocktail bartender in the city. He's won awards as Barman of the Year and mixes some mean moonshine.
So how do you sort of maintain your position as top dog in Gastown?
So we're constantly evolving, constantly changing what we do.
Okay.
And there's always new stuff on the menu. Right now, our most popular is, we have one with fresh avocado in it.
Fresh
And
avocado?
Yeah, it's very Vancouver. It's almost like healthy drinking.
Well, should we kick off with that? Because
Yeah.
that sounds quite intriguing.
A quarter of an avocado per drink, depending on the size. Fresh lime juice. So we squeeze all our citrus pre-shift. So an ounce of fresh lime juice and apple corn schnapps. So this is a German apple liqueur. This is made in house. This is rosemary and olive infused gin.
A stiff shake breaks down the avocado. I'm not normally a gin fan, so Sean has a challenge on his hands.
So it's a double strain. It's almost like putting something through muslin in a way, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's delicious, number one. But number two, I can't really taste the gin in it, which is not a bad thing because I'm not fond of gin.
Okay, perfect.
But I love lime.
Yep.
The avocado is really subtle in there, and you are getting those little accents of rosemary and a little faintness of olive. It's absolutely delicious. It's really unusual.
Seeing as I was sitting at the bar, I let Sean talk me into one for the road.
This drink's called a meat hook.
A meat hook.
So
Is that code?
This one is based around my favourite tipple, bourbon, and then a splash of Italian vermouth.
This is a great vermouth to mix with.
Oh, it's a sign of a great night out.
So Quincy Mess. Next up is maraschino. So this is a dry cherry liqueur.
Yeah.
And to finish it off, to make it unique, this is Ardbeg 10-year-old. So this is a really smoky, peaty Scottish whiskey. It's a pretty well-rounded one, but this one is definitely a sipper.
Definitely a sipper. I'm not good at sipping,
Might have to.
as you may have noticed.
It's a brandied cherry, so that's at the bottom. I'm waiting for you when you're done. So that's
Branded Jerry.
the meat hook.
Right, well, let's see if that meat hook packs a punch.
Definitely you've got to sip it, haven't you? Because it absolutely tastes strong. You see, the first one was just so extraordinary and unusual that you had to just keep drinking more of it. But this one, it tastes flammable and it tastes dangerous.
That one's no joke.
Yeah. So
as we
I
like
think
to
I
say.
will just go and sit at the end of the bar. You can open up now.
Okay.
And let's see how much trouble we can get in.
Great.
What a pleasure. I
great
can
pleasure.
see why you've got this reputation. I could be here all night.
Vancouver has surprised me. It's my kind of town. This place is young and vibrant and with a good food scene to match. But I'd better get a wriggle on as that train waits for no man. Well, here I am at Pacific Central Station, ready to board my idea of what a train that's about to take you over the Rocky Mountains should look like.
As many journeys as I've done, when I actually see the train that I'm about to travel on, I still feel this wonderful sense of anticipation and excitement. And this is very unlike any of the other trains that I've been on. It's kind of retro, it's a bit 1950s and 60s. They've been looking at the passengers hanging out in the bar, and it always gives you that sort of wonderful sense of excitement.
It's a nighttime start, so after what I hope will be a good night's sleep, I'll wake near the town of Jasper in the Rocky Mountains. And this is the first time I've been led up front.
All right, climb aboard.
Driver Leslie wants to show me his cabin.
It's quite slippy. Oh.
Leslie, it's comfortable. I'm surprised.
Air conditioning.
Air conditioning.
Yes.
The ceiling's high. The
Yes.
seat is comfortable. I've got a
Yes.
great panoramic view.
Yes.
I'm almost ready to go. So what do I press first? I must tell you, Leslie, I never sleep very well on these trains because it's not always a smooth journey, is it?
No, it's not.
Are we going to do our best tonight to give me a good night's
Always.
sleep?
We always work and do our best to give a smooth ride.
Oh, good. I do like a smooth ride. So it's almost time for Leslie to make his final checks before departure. We're all set tonight and we've got good track conditions.
Track conditions are good. The line is open at this time, and other than the weather, we should be in good shape.
Right, I'm off for a canapé and a glass of champagne. Thank you for showing me your
You're most
quarters
welcome.
and the hub of it.
Enjoy
I'm
your
very
trip.
excited. I'm very excited, I have to say. The last passengers are getting on board, so I'd better go and find my cabin. It looks so kind of retro and like those old Hollywood movies, you know, like Some Like It Hot. That sort of 1950s, quite glamorous time. It's kind of nice to be just going on a journey where it's all about people going from A to B and looking at beautiful scenery and not about linen and china and Michelin-starred food. Hi. Very good, and you? I'm Jonathan.
Word, I'm Leonard.
Leonard, nice to meet you. You looking after me tonight?
Yes, I am.
Splendid.
I'm on board to the Canadian. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Be helping you with that, but you go ahead. I'll bring it up for you.
Well, you can always take over, Leonard. I don't mind. And we're off, leaving Vancouver behind, heading across the Canadian Rockies.
Pas communiquer avec un comportement de base. Merci et bon voyage.
Bon voyage, that means we're off. I have to say I'm very, very sad to be leaving Vancouver. I've had a wonderful time there. Wonderful food, but as I always say, it's always good to leave your audience wanting a bit more. I'm excited to do this journey because I've looked at the map and the scale of Canada is something that we're just not used to in the UK. If you drive for sort of 10 miles, you're in another country in England. Here, we're practically crossing a continent. So I think the scenery is going to really make this journey. Yes, please, Leonard. Any of you guys? Well, that and the champagne. Should I take one and pass one on?
Yes.
Well, cheers. Bon voyage, everyone. I've made friends with this American family. Champagne is such a good icebreaker, isn't it? Oh, dear. So what are you looking forward to most on the journey?
Scenery.
Yeah.
I'd say the scenery.
Having a break from our work and spending time with my brother and their newlywed. In fact, tomorrow's your anniversary.
Is it? How long have you been?
Tomorrow will be 3 years.
Yeah.
So you're newlyweds, 3 years. You're practically courting. So this is like a second honeymoon for you.
Yes.
Well, you're all in good spirits, aren't you? So let's see how you all are tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
and see if you've had a good night's sleep or not. This lot look like they could party all night, but I'm going to have to love them and leave them as I'm turning in, hoping for a good night's sleep and to wake up in the Rockies. I'm on the Canadian, a wonderful train journey from Vancouver through the Rocky Mountains on my way to Jasper. Well, I had a really good night's sleep. I'm really surprised to say it. I thought that it was going to be dreadful, but actually it's incredibly smooth and this bed is really cozy. The temperature in the cabin has been perfect all night because normally on the trains I get either too hot or too cold and then you open the window and it's too noisy and it's all a bit of a drama. But actually it's been incredibly comfortable and cozy and really smooth. Occasionally it sort of jolted and I woke up, but I went straight back to sleep. I feel fairly refreshed and I feel very laid back and I just feel quite well, which I never thought I'd hear myself saying. And I got up quite early at about 6-ish, and I'm really glad I did because the scenery has been utterly spectacular. And as the day's progressing, the mist is coming down, so you can't see as much as one could a few hours ago. So it was really worth opening the blind and enjoying the passing scenery. The landscape is incredible. Come on in.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm very well, actually.
Fantastic.
Surprisingly well.
Fantastic.
I slept well, the scenery's great. You know, what more can a boy ask?
Maybe a banana?
Maybe a banana.
An orange? There you are.
And a muffin.
Anything else for you, sir?
Not right now, but I'm sure I'll think of something later.
All right, well, have a good morning.
Thank you, and you.
See you later.
See ya. Part of me just wants to sit here in bed with my banana, and the other part of me wants to sort of go meet some people. What I like about this train is everybody's very laid back. I mean, I don't even know if I can be bothered to sort of walk up the corridor and have a shower. I might sort of chop and tear in the basin and just put on the same clothes I wore yesterday and sort of hang out. And I think it's kind of a nice contrast to my usual trips, where I'd be feeling I need to put on a sort of jacket for lunch and worrying about, you know, my black tie for dinner. I don't really care what I look like, and we'll see. So I think this journey is now sort of setting the tone for Jasper.
Now, the great thing about this train is that it makes luxury travel affordable, and let me tell you, the scenery is priceless. Kevin has worked on this train for over 30 years, and he believes that whilst the service has changed and is less formal, this is still the most glamorous way to travel.
How was the sort of just the ambience of the train changed since the days when you first started?
Well, I still remember a lot of the passengers sitting, you know,
Wonderful.
days of old, people sitting there
Yeah.
very, you know, prim and proper with their suits and their hats on, sitting in the dome car, and going into the dining car was a very formal event.
Yes.
And
Do you miss those days?
In a way, I do, but I think that we need people to feel comfortable, and that's how they feel comfortable.
They're the sort of telltale signs of a former glory. You know, in the cabin there's a little hatch where at first I thought it was that where they're going to put the milk in the morning, but actually I realised it's probably where you used to put your shoes and have someone shine them for you.
You know what? You're exactly right. Passengers used to put their shoes inside there, and they always put them in backwards. And we would take them out in the middle of the night, and we'd mark on the bottom with a bar of soap where they came from.
I presume they were the days when the movie stars were on here. Did you work with any famous names who have walked through these corridors that I've been walking through?
We have had a lot of movie stars
Yeah.
that come, and we give them, because they're coming on their vacation, we treat everybody the same way. We want to celebrate you coming, but we want to give you your space. And we even go to the point of, you know, cautioning some passengers just to say, you know what, it's okay, you can say hello.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they just want to be left alone.
Sure.
It's their getaway.
But it's about being intuitive and sensitive to everybody, really, and just feeling it out. And I suppose that can only come with experience. I'm really sad that I didn't bring more shoes. I do have 3 pairs of brogues, though. So if you want to come and help me shine them, Kevin, you know where to come.
I've got it. I'll be there.
I'm on the Canadian, a wonderful train journey from Vancouver through the Rocky Mountains on my way to Jasper. Wow, this is the stuff dreams are made of. I've got the greatest show on earth going on right outside my window. You don't come on this journey for starched linens and formal attire. You come to see a whole different world outside your window. It is beautiful and has made this a trip of a lifetime. Wow, look at that.
Wow, that was an amazing sight. That's what this journey is all about, just coming across these random beauty spots. I've never seen a waterfall like that. I've been quite almost moved by it, actually. It was absolutely spectacular. And I've got a feeling that this journey is just going to get more and more beautiful. Stunning.
Good views, nice food, and a comfortable ride are making me a very happy boy. It's a thumbs up to Canadian hospitality so far.
Sometimes there are too many lemons.
Now, this young woman not only has to sing for her supper, but the whole darn journey, all the way to Winnipeg.
So, Sarah, tell me about you with your guitar.
Via Rail has this great program where if you are a musician, you can play your way across for a cabin and for all your meals included.
And meals as well.
And meals included.
You must be good then.
Yeah, I hope so.
Let me get this straight. So Via sponsors musicians to come on board to entertain people like me. It's time for Sarah to serenade me for her supper.
This is kind of my hit tune that people sing along to, which means that you might have to sing along with it.
Well, if I can pick it up.
Yeah.
You never know.
Sometimes there are too many lemons to make lemonade, no matter what you say. Sometimes there are too
many lemons. Oh, eagles.
Vying for the spotlight. I think I'll say goodnight. I think I'll go.
Well, it's nearly time for me to go. This has been an amazing journey. It's been all about the scenery, and words almost fail me. Let's just say it's been a humbling experience. We get to my destination in the heart of the Rockies, Jasper, much quicker than I thought or would have liked. I feel it's time to get in touch with my adventurous self so I can embrace the great Canadian wilderness.
Oh. Well, here I am in Jasper. It was a really lovely journey, actually. I really enjoyed it, a lot more than I thought I was going to. And quite intrigued to see what's ahead for me in the next couple of days in Jasper. So the journey continues.